Oh, Canada, a country that used to be taken seriously, but now is run by whack jobs and idiots. So, there's a lot to talk about this week. As I was in Ottawa, we'll focus on the first event in Ottawa, which was the big protest against gender ideology in schools. There was then the literal terrorist in terrorist gear showing up the next few days to harass a bunch of victims of terror on Parliament Hill. The police did nothing. They arrested a freedom protester. The government's just incompetent, right? None of the ministers check their email, apparently. No one gets an email from anyone in the government. No one knows anything about anything. Mark, where's Paul Bernardo going? Who knows? He's coming to your house near you. He's staying with you. Paul Bernardo's going to be living at your house. And Marco Mendocino has no idea about it, even though he was warned 15 years ago. All of this is secondary because Canada is being run by the left, and the Canadian left is being run by absolute whack jobs. And the establishment media is letting them get away with it. And it's not going to turn out well for anyone. This doesn't help the left, doesn't help the right, doesn't help Canada. Helps no one. You have, these lunatic gender ideologists pushing the most insane stuff. CBC Kids has your kids know what they're trans when they're 2 years old. To kids. This is what people are protesting. Right? And I come from a generation of millennials where we're all fine with gay marriage. All of us are fine. I'm, pretty conservative as you get for someone born in the 90s. But I can't get behind, this new lunacy. But I want to be behind gay marriage and, do what you want in your own house. Nothing's any of your business. Social libertarianism on a domestic front. Whoopee. But we cannot have nice things because this is Canada. So you have MPP Joel Harden, outright lying. We'll just call it how it is. The dude pretended to be assaulted. We all know the real assailant. We caught him. It was his own megaphone, right? There's tons of videos. This thing went viral. This whole event in Ottawa went viral around the world. And everyone was filming it, right? Cameras everywhere. And we don't have video of this guy's assault. And the best the Canadian media does when they amend it is this has now been disputed. The guy lied. You had a guy make up a fake hate crime. A sitting MPP, a sitting elected official, made up a fake assault. And we have video to prove it. Nothing. Right. You got, you know what? I like Dina Sharif, the new face of the left, Rainbow Karen, if you've seen her, the lady in the thumbnail. I like her. I do like her. Listen, I've listened to her in Twitter space. She's batshit insane. She's nuts. But it's an honest type of nut. She's out there defending trans people from the genocide. Information doesn't go in. And she gets on the street and she's like, wah, wah. It's good. She's insane, right? It's a good, show of what the Antifa left gender ideology is, right? She also riles up a lot of the crazies on the right to she's good at trolling them too. I'll give her that. She's good at trolling. She's now I'm paid by the government. Everyone's she's paid by Trudeau. She's not paid by Trudeau, guys. She's insane. And it's hilarious, right? But the problem is these people are are dragging the Liberal Party closer and closer towards them, being run by lunatics. Because the government isn't running anything. None of them are checking the email. Marco Mendocino has no idea where he is. Omar Al-Ghabra, Minister of Transportation, probably can't find the country on a map. Yeah. I guarantee you that's more geography than Omar Al-Ghabra knows. Maybe someone sent him an email, a couple months ago telling him that Canada is north of America, but he probably hasn't found it. This is the government. So who's running this thing, right? It's the culture war driving the Trudeau phenomenon, right? Because Trudeau, I'm so progressive, right? Even though I just told the story of him lying to a grieving father and tricking him out of not posting on social media to take the pressure off himself. This stuff is crazy. But again, you have, Dr. Milli Vanilli. This is now, she's basically in charge because the way the left works, this new, what we could call globalism, technocratic bureaucracy, whatever it is you want to call this, right? What is it? It's the fact that we're being governed not so much by the governments, but by these, you could say, transnational NGOs or local NGOs, things that, boost your ESG score. And these things are manipulated by a few people in positions of power who are batshit insane, nilly-vanilly. right? Dr. Neely just yelling at Sheila, you can't come into my press conference. Blah! Still wearing an N95 mask outside, just being insane. And we can all laugh at it, and you should laugh at it, because it's funny, and you need to laugh, and you need to laugh at these people. But the scary thing is, these are the ones actually pushing the left, which is the NDP and Liberals are tied together, because Jagmeet wants his pension in 2025. Justin Trudeau wants to not be indicted for any of the multiple crimes he's done, so he's just giving Jagmeet, his free ride. So those two ding-dongs are running the country on cruise control, in reverse, off a cliff. So who's driving the thing? They're in the back seat of the car, getting high, supporting whatever terrorist organization they just found that morning. Who's driving the car? It's Nilly Vanilli and Karen. Or Dina, whatever the figure her name is, right? This is the thrust of the modern left, and it's a danger to the entire social fabric. Like, can we not have a society that treats insane people like they're crazy? Right, but there's just things we want to talk about. Like, for example, the most viral video from this weekend is the mother who is wearing a hijab telling her kids to stomp on the pride flag, and that got like tens of millions of views. Now, I don't think that's a good thing. Listen, I'm against the pride agenda on the kids. I'm for that mother's right to protest. I agree with their protest. I don't think it's good to have kids stomping on flags or stomping on the gay pride flag in Canada. It's not a good thing. They're 5 to 9 years old there. Right? That's not good cognitive development. Leave our kids alone. I agree, leave our kids alone. But I don't want kids learning gender ideology. I don't want kids stomping on pride flags. It's not good for the country. But we can't have a conversation about this because everyone's afraid, Islamophobia, Christophobia, it's whatever. And then the left is going crazy because they're on full deport these people mode. Full on deport them. Just deport them, get rid of them. Just deport, all the Muslims that don't conform to our values. Or, how about this? We try assimilating immigrants. We try it. We say Canada is a good thing. We are not perfect, but the country is good. We are not changing the anthem to home on native land. We're not saying that this is an evil stolen land. We're putting up the statues of Johnny MacDonald. We're naming schools after Wilfrid Laurier and Edgar Ryerson, who did nothing wrong. And we're going to assimilate the immigrants by saying, Canada is good. You want to leave your country? You want to come to Canada? Great. You want to cook a falafel, you want to make a shawarma, you want to, open up a burrito shop, all the things the left loves. The left just loves it when immigrants make food. The food's so tasty. Yeah, sure. But they have other things of value to build, but it needs to be a give and take. They need to just learn our values. We need to say, we are good. You can come. Freedom. This is what it means. Stop with the trying to turn their kids trans, because they're right about that, right? Take it down a notch crazy. But if we, and right-wing guys, if we assimilate the immigrants better and they're more part of our society, when people start to say, boys can be girls and girls can be boys as young as 2 years old, you'll have a whole bunch of brown and black people saying, that's crazy. And they'll be in our societies and they'll be talking with us and meeting people in the street. Imagine if that crazy white friggin' 45-year-old liberal lady who's like, I believe in immigrants, actually talk to an immigrant. Can you imagine if a white urban Toronto person actually talked to a brown person once in their life? Could you imagine what they would learn? And it would be good for the country. But no, we can't have anything nice because we're run by Milli Vanilli, and this is the Trudotopia. So welcome to this is now San Francisco. This is all just now San Francisco, except maybe Alberta. And video coming tomorrow.